Basketball analyst who's joining us via Zoom, Irabor Okosun. If he feels the same way, thank you so much, Irabor, for joining us on the show.
Thank you so much for having me on Yechi.
It's great to have you. And anytime we have to talk basketball, yes, I know I'm in good hands. The D Tigers, I think they're trying to tell us there should be hope somewhere. There is a light at the tunnel. But did we have to wait 10 years? After 2015 winning that AfroBasket title, they had a slow start, yes, in the first two quarters before taking control in that second quarter. But what adjustment do you think made the difference against Madagascar in that opener?
I think it's just the grace of God and experience that did make the difference. A lot of shots were falling down for Caleb Agada. You know, he finished with 22 points, and we also had Okoye with 13. Also, Akobundu also finished with 10. I think it's the grace of God because this team was put together last minute. We got the reports about 4 days ago that the list was already out. So when it comes to the men's game, there's a huge difference between that and the female team and the female game. So whenever we're trying to make a run for any title, we have to really look at it from a very, very strategic standpoint where you can't just throw players around and hope for the best because you're competing with a lot of people who play in the Euro League, a lot of people who play in the NBA and other leagues around the world and in Europe. So one game is good, 77-59, not a bad score, but I'm very, very cautiously optimistic with regard to our chances, for getting to the summit. I'm not truly convinced because in as much as we have solid players in Caleb Agada, Stan Okoye, we also have Ike Nwamu and Akobundu as well. Then we have Josh Okoye also looking slightly overweight. I don't know if he's going to make weight by the time the NBA season starts. So I'm just not truly convinced by what we have at the moment. No, not a jab. It's visible. You can see it there, So when it comes to the men's game, you have to come correct. So I'm cautiously optimistic.
All right. Okay. That's for Josh Okoye. We're hoping that he can just, put action into that court there. Let's pinpoint players right now because you just started it with that jab there. So let's talk about Caleb Agada. He led scoring with 22 points. I'm a bit, very, very inquisitive right now. How crucial was that leadership in swinging the momentum for Nigeria in order to go in Nigeria's favor? 22 points. How crucial was it?
Oh, yeah. Very, very, very crucial. I mean, he hit a lot of mid-range shots.
Yes.
He drove into the lane.
Yeah.
Those were very crucial shots for sure, certainly. But that brings me to my point, what I was trying to say earlier, is that we don't have too many offensive weapons. We don't have enough firepower, to really edge out teams. We're going to be facing Tunisia, the defending champions, in the next Group B game. We cannot really rely on just one player, to outwork themselves throughout the course of a tournament and expecting to take the slack, from start to finish, 48 minutes through and through till the final. That's going to be a very, tall task for such a player. So I feel that we can try to ride this out, see how best we can do for this tournament. Then one thing I just want us to do as a nation with regard to basketball is to really have a very good hierarchical system, from the grassroots leading up until, the professional level where you have people replacing each other. People are playing games regularly, whether it's in the collegiate, area, whether it's even, friendly games, whether it's scouting internationally, because we have a lot of talent. If we're not going to go by, our passports right now, our national team is supposed to be Giannis Antetokounmpo, Victor Oladipo, Bam Adebayo, and Co. So if you have those types of players playing for Nigeria, I can confidently sit down here and say, yes, we do have a chance, even at the Olympics or even the FIBA World Championships. But that's where we are at right now, where we don't really have the talent that we know we have playing for us in Nigeria. So again, I just hope that the $100,000 potential, prize money for each player would motivate them to really want to push the envelope to get the championship this year,
Indeed. It seems money has become the motivating factor for our athletes at this time, judging by what was given to the Super Falcons and also the D Tigers. You talk about having players with experience to come, bond with the team. I've seen a little bit of talent here. Kodrichi Akobundu. His impact was really felt in that game against Madagascar, and I'm feeling like the future is really bright with the Tigers. But how would you rate the overall team chemistry? There's a mix of those who are just making the debut, the AfroBasket, and those who have been there, done that in the AfroBasket. There's a mix of it in this team there in Angola. But how would you rate the chemistry in that opening game? Do you think it's something that can be consistent? Do you think it's something that can give them the push for us to say, yes, we have a hope for another title after 2015?
Yeah, so I'll use this analogy. Just imagine a student, who is somewhat, foundationally intelligent and doesn't really rely on reading when it comes to exams. Yes, eventually maybe you can finish with a 3.5 CGPA, but you could do better with 4.1, 4.5 with a first class or something. If you apply yourself, you read and you do certain things and you put certain things in motion. So I feel that Nigeria's state at the moment where we are so adaptable, we rely on it. That's why we can do things last minute and just hope for the best, vibes and inshallah. So I feel just because we are adaptable as a nation and the people are just so adaptable, I feel that yes, there's some form of chemistry. We can play basketball because we are professionals. So if you bring many people together, it may work. But if you reference the Phoenix Suns and see what happened with Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal, with that superstar power, the concoction just didn't make sense. That's why they had to sell.
Irabor, I think you're not cutting them some slack here. You're not cutting them a slack. You're rating them with top players. I think that's too much a bone, to chew there. Hello, Irabor, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I said you're rating these players with top players from the NBA. Is that not too much comparison? At this time, the ratio is not balanced.
No, that's not too much. No, that's not too much because at the end of the day, when we go to FIBA or we go to the Olympics, who are we going to be playing against? The same players that I just mentioned. So that's what I mean. So we should not have that local champion mindset where, okay, so we're doing well at the FIBA AfroBasket, then we go outside and, play internationally. We can't really match up or do anything well. I was just using that as a reference to say that you can even bring superstars of that caliber together, hoping that they would mesh well. They won't mesh well because you have to work on chemistry, you have to work on the plays, you have to work on strategy. So it's not just about throwing too many things together and just hoping for, so a miracle or something. So I just feel that we need to fix our issue foundationally as a nation when it comes to sport among every other thing, so that we can try to get these results that we are hoping for. It's not going to work by just doing what we do, by submitting lists last minute, or by not even playing the friendly games, or by not even warming up. I mean, I'm sure you watch the FIBA EuroBasket. You see teams are already even playing friendlies before the competition starts. They are making things, ready. They are doing their chemistry. So many things are being put in place, but we just try to throw it. And this is not me trying to be, a sadistic, pessimistic person. I'm somebody who likes to fix things at the core, at the root. So that's our problem right now. And I'm still going to wish the boys well. I'm going to hope for the best. I'm still going to be rooting for them. I'm watching every game as if it's the last game I'm going to watch. Even the game against Madagascar, 7:59. I was there during the first quarter. I was like, I hope we're going to be able to edge these guys out. Then when
all right. I think we're having some network challenge there with connecting with Irabor Okosun. We're hoping that we can have him reconnect. All right, he's back right now. So Irabor, please just wrap up with your thoughts.
Yeah. I'm just hoping for the best for the Tigers. I just want us to really just fix our issues foundationally, try to get a scouting strategy in place so that we have players that can even train the people that we are hoping, to play for the national team. In 2012, for example, you had the likes of Kyrie Irving training, with Kevin Durant and Kobe Bryant, but Kyrie Irving didn't make that team in 2012. So that's trying to institute that hierarchical system where you have a lot of players, going through a process, having their chance to represent the country, and it's a system and a cycle, and it's repeated and it's sustainable. That's what we need.
Yes, of course, indeed. I also share the same, opinion with you of what we need in Nigeria. Thank you so much. I really did enjoy the conversation with you, talking about the D-Tigers, and I'll be hoping that you can oblige us another time when the D-Tigers play against Tunisia for Friday. Thank you so much, Irabor Okosun.
Yeah. No problem. Certainly. Thanks for having me on EH.
You too. Thank you so much. A pleasure talking to you.